At that time, it was Transvaal, and the king that was sitting on the throne, it was King Mpanzeni. The time the fence came in, he was on the other side of the fence, which he was at KwaLobamba in Swaziland. And he continued, he left this family this side. And then there was a family that he started that side, of which he gave birth to King Bunu. And King Bunu gave birth to King Sobhuza. King Sobhuza then gave birth to King Mswati the third, the one that is sitting on the throne. While on this other side of the fence, it was then my family that was left.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you for, everything about African tradition and culture is something that we need to continue to learn and to learn about it, how it functions and all of that. All right, that is fine. And when His Royal Highness come around just now, he will also explain some other parts in it. But I would like to concentrate on the village entrepreneurship, or the rural entrepreneurship, if you were to put it like that, because there are a few things that you lay out there in your initial statement. So I would like us to talk a little bit about that. First, you talked about the mining in your community, which are where the local people are not benefiting from it. So now you're trying to introduce a kind of generational wealth idea into them, how to create income for themselves, which is something really valuable because, like you pointed out, most of these chiefs and in the rural setting have a lot of land, and this land can actually be turned into resources. Maybe at the end of the day, what might be lacking now is the mindset, is the resources to be able to do that, because people, maybe they do not know that, they do not know what they're supposed to do, or maybe they do not have the ability to do what they have to do. So at the end of the day, it becomes a little bit challenging for them to live by the resources of their land. So first, help me understand what is actually being mined in your area.
The big mines that I'm talking of big mines that mine platinum and chrome. Our area is very, very rich in terms of chrome. So let me just go back a little bit. For me to start my journey, I was then asked by one kingdom, which was called Mampuru Kingdom.
Okay, thank you, His Royal Highness, for joining us. So we'll be talking before you came in. Uh, right now, you are here, and the princess is here, who will be telling us a bit about her background. Now that you are here, would you like to say something to the audience that are listening to us? Why princess was crowned? Of course, you are the paramount chief. You are the one that crowned her. Can you say something about? Will you say something to that effect?
Okay. Royal greetings to all listeners and those who are watching us live. As the paramount chief of Africa, Princess of Africa emerged some years back, and the first princess passed on, and we say migrated before the second princess. And this second princess that you are seeing is also a royalty. She came from a royal background, and that necessitated the choice of choosing her as the Princess of Africa. I must tell you that it's not personal. She wasn't just taken. I dreamt about her, and after dreaming about her, I called her. We had some chats. We had different delegations, deliberation, and also we come to a point where we then say, no, she deserves to be the Princess of Africa. As a Dlamini person, which of course is part of Swaziland, and being part of Swaziland, and they are like the Swazis in South Africa. And through all that, she will explain more to you. There are several reasons why she was picked up to say be the second princess, which is Princess of Africa the second. And Princess of Africa the second, because we had the first, and the first migrated. And after her migration, the seat was then vacant. We did not just replace her immediately. We respected her to, let's take a process of a year plus before we replaced that position. All SWAV federational members, kings and chiefs, and network of African kings are in support of it. All network of African kings, members, and founders, and founding fathers, their hands are on it. SWAV Federation, their hands on it. The Diaspora, which is our diasporan brothers, are also part of the coronation of the Princess of Africa. Having said this, there are so many other areas I would have been touching, but I will progress to it.
Before I ask the princess to tell me more about the activity in her place, because she really did point out some interesting things that I think we should be talking about a lot in Africa and among Africans, which is the possibility of generating income among the local people, where they should be able to benefit from their land. She said something very interesting there, but anyway, I'm coming to her. Now, the question is, when you say Princess of Africa, what does it mean? Can you say something to that effect? What does it actually represent? What is that office? What is it supposed to do?
As the Princess of Africa, they said we have the father and mother in the house to anchor the affairs of home. It then means that as the Princess of Africa, we have coronated her to make sure that the presence of women are felt on a high level on African network of kings, SWAV Federation, in the gatherings of royalties. We must have a top delegate of a woman who can represent the affairs of women. And in other ways, representing the affairs of women and children, it goes together. And as we have her on that position, she is also a royal emissary to carry out several activities in the kingdom on the feminine aspect of the royalties. We also challenge her to move into several ventures that will benefit some kingdoms on the issue of women abuse, which of course is the order of the day presently. We say that in the past, we speak about women less as a weaker sex, excuse my language. But then it's not what it is. It is not what it is. Women are our better halves. Women are the owners of home. Women are the keepers of home. And that is the reason why it necessitated that if we then put her here as the paramount chief of Africa, will be going into several kingdoms as a mediator and a coordinator of several kingdoms. She herself will be doing the same job on the feminine aspect.